Alright, so this is going to be a quick update. As you can tell, I am seated on a Crown Vic front end that is completely put into the F100. Basic install is done, the fabrication is complete. I had some camera troubles this week. I'm actually using an old backup camera now. So I don't know what I have versus what I don't have for footage, so this could be a really short update. But some really exciting things are happening. I have the Crown Vic Police Interceptor wheels. I've got the rear axles out at a fabrication shop, having the bolt pattern updated so that I can use the same set of wheels front and back. Didn't really want to trust myself with that particular job. Figured I'd leave that to a professional to get that done. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little look-see of what I've got done. My dad was down this weekend, so me and my broken whatever this is, whether it's broken ribs or bruised cartilage or whatever it is from a rather feisty game of ultimate frisbee, didn't have to do all of the work. I was able to have a lot of help from my dad, which is pretty great. And he and I spent some time talking about what will become a project for later that I'm going to kind of title Hot Rod History. Really think it would be fun to have a conversation on video with my dad about his car history and why we are the way we are when it comes to the cars we love. He is a Chevy guy through and through. He is a Chevelle guy. He had a 1965 Chevelle back in the day, and he still has one now because we just finished building that last year. But ultimately, really being a car guy is family history, and I think that there's something to that. So I think it's worth getting it out on video and seeing what comes of it. So sometime soon, my dad and I are going to be sitting down and doing a little work on that. But rather than bore you, I'll go ahead and give you the once-over of what's been done. Okay, so I fabricated some tubes that go down in through the frame here, as you can see. Drilled a hole in the top and bottom for the bolts to go through, and then covered it up with a piece of plate for rigidity. Since there used to be a whole big welded in cross member here, I felt like it made the most sense to go ahead and brace this as best I can. I have my welding jacket up here, but you can see the Crown Vic upper control arm mounts. Just tonight mounted the sway bar. Now this is all just dry fit really, so once I get everything done fabricating wise, I'm going to go ahead and take it apart and paint the whole frame. I'm going to do some grinding, since they say that a grinder in paint makes me the welder I ain't. So I don't know how many times I'm going to have camera problems in this making of this video. Turns out the backup camera only had a 1 gig card in it, so that filled up in no time flat. So now I should be in a good place. I hope so anyway. Not really sure where I was, so that's probably problematic. But I've got the rear bracing done. Ran out of welding gas, if I'm honest, so I gotta wait until I can get to the gas supply shop to get some more welding gas so I can finish bracing the back side of the C-notch. And then it's kind of disassembly and paint of the frame. This is not a complete restoration. You can call it any number of things. I've called it rusto-mod or restoration. I've been following the hashtag #RaddyHotRods on Instagram, which, by the way, you can check me out over there. It's the 67F100. going to try to do some more things over there, including announcements of these videos and more. So check that out. Give that a, whatever you call it, a subscribe or a follow. Anyway, if you have questions, let me know. If you want me to show something that I've done or that I plan to do, you can just let me know. I'd like to have a conversation. I've been following Dick Ham and the guys at Vice Grip Garage and Junkyard Digs and that whole crew, Dylan McCool. And just think that this whole community needs more people like us that want to talk about the build that they're working on and share it with everybody around us, because what's the worst thing that could come from having one more car guy friend, right? Anyway, thanks for watching. Somewhere in here I'm going to have spliced a whole bunch of footage of my dad and I working on the truck, or just random completed stuff, but hopefully I'll get the camera thing figured out so I'll stop having as much trouble as I've been having getting this stuff done. Anyway, thanks for watching. Here's a decent shot of the Crown Vic wheels. I'm a big fan of like slotted rallies, and these kind of are kind of a reference or an homage to that, even though they're definitely not a rally wheel. But they are 16-inch, and I just love them. Now to the back side of the truck. Because I did the axle flip where I moved the axle to above the springs, that brought the whole truck down about 5.5 inches. I put in this piece of 6-inch pipe as a C-notch, and it's not pipe, it's actually steel tubing. And I'm gonna brace the back side. Oh, sorry about shaking the camera around. I'm gonna brace the back side with another piece of tubing. But originally this piece of strap was on the frame to brace the frame for the utility box that was on here. So I figured I wouldn't waste that. I'd just go ahead and attach to it. The other side has a mirrored piece of this strapping on the top, but it didn't have it over here. You can kind of see it on the far side there. I went ahead and just mirrored that over here because what's it gonna hurt to brace everything. And my dad went to town with the wire brush on a grinder and cleaned up the entire frame, so it is ready to acid etch and put some Pour 15 frame paint on. You can see the other C-notch there. And then I have just a little bit more fabricating to do. I need to fabricate some lower shock mounts that will mount in here. Oh, get the bolt out of the way. They will mount to the outside of this so that it hangs down below, and the shock can go from here to this bolt that's in the foreground now.